Yeah. Hey, what it good do? I figured we gonna get started. We gonna turn up 'cause it's Friday, right? You ain't got shit to do. You ain't got no job. What's up, y'all? Yeah. This is the effect, y'all. This is the Jaguar Wright effect, and we are in the building with everybody here. What's good? What's good, everybody? What's up with everybody on a Friday? On an iced out Friday, I guess that's what we're calling it, right? I guess that's what we're calling it. What's up, Britt? What's up, Angela Banks? Yep, from Chicago. That's what's up. And Oliver's mom. What's up? Yeah, that song is fire. That intro is fire. Everybody like the intro. I love it. I love it. Shout out to the producers. Upper echelons at work, but he wanna listen. You can still listen. I guess, I don't know how we gonna do it, but hey, we got room for you here. We got room. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's up? Today we got topics. I said 3 topics, but in all honesty, there's a lot more. It's a lot more. It's gonna be a lot. I think we're gonna be here for a good minute. Jaguar is in the building. What's up?
Do you know I thought I was up on stage this whole time? I've been shouting people out.
You was in the back, just backdrop.
Yeah. I was in a bizac.
That's what's up. That's what's up. How's your Friday? How's everything so far? 2 days before your born day.
I know. My anniversary is in 2 days. My anniversary of surviving the world. Yeah, it's cool. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm just gonna let whatever's going, like however things. I'm like I don't know. Once upon a time, I used to put a lot of effort into planning my birthdays. I had a lot of great birthdays, a lot of great birthday parties. And salute, thank you, Auntie Leah. And now it's like, after everything that I've been through and everything that I've experienced, I'm not so interested in choreographing.
I hear you.
And just like being present in the day. Like I'm gonna tell you something right now. One of the best gifts that I ever had was I got to meet one of the most important people that I've ever had in my life. Going to get my birthday haircut. I couldn't.
You talking about people pricing?
No. He has a nice voice, but he doesn't sing.
Luther Vandross.
Actually, no, I'm not morbid and I'm not into necrophilia. Yeah, he's a dark-skinned guy. A little controversial, but probably one of the most dependable, one of the most heartfelt people that I've had in my life. And just not planning that moment being the big surprise. I had a lot of big surprises though on my 47th birthday. Like when I woke up on my 47th birthday, I woke up to everybody hitting me up and sending me like messages. Jag, turn on CNN. You were right. Jag, turn on CNN. You were right. And it's kind of wild because that was the day that the Cassie Diddy video hit. And then the next day I met someone. Actually, no, Cat Williams was my 30th birthday gift. 17 years later, on my 47th birthday, I met this guy named Wolfgang Amadeus. And he says, yo, you make content, you controversial, but I think as a producer, I could bring something to the picture, and yeah, we've been making content ever since. And I couldn't imagine. So yeah, probably my best birthday gift.
I appreciate
Oh, now
that.
you quiet.
I heard Wolfgang. Well, I'm talking. I'm talking. Yeah, I said no. I appreciate that. I heard Wolfgang ain't shit though, but that's what I heard. That's what the streets say. Let me
I
shut up.
mean, the streets also
Yeah, it's
say that
been.
Cardi B and Stefan Diggs are in a wonderful relationship. The streets say a lot of stuff. Matter of
Oh
fact, the
damn,
streets have been
we
talking
going
a
there.
lot this week.
Oh no, they have. They have. It's been a lot going on this week.
It's been crazy.
Hello. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let's see
I'm here.
here.
Are you there?
Okay. Nah,
I don't know what's
I
going
thought it
on with
cut
the
out. You know
StreamYard
how this.
studio.
I'm over here doing some other stuff too. I'm uploading, but it shouldn't be lagging or nothing like that. But nonetheless, yeah. No, we're here. We're here. No, I was gonna just say, hey, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on this week, and whenever you're ready to get into it. But no, I think a lot of people. First off, I was gonna say just the whole 2 years is crazy because it don't seem like 2 years. Of course, time flies, you know, especially when a whole lot is going on. But yeah, I'm saying how 2 years, 2 years has been. It's. I don't know. I don't know. 2 years, man. I'm just not thinking about it right now. Like shit, that's a lot. That's a long time.
I mean, it's kind of a long time, and it's kind of a short
A
time.
lot happened. Well, a lot can happen in 2 years. You could. Someone can be impregnated, and the baby would already almost be, well, almost a year and a half in 2 years, like,
Yeah,
or a year and some
yeah,
change, right? Like, there's a lot that goes on in two
yeah.
years. Someone could
A
have,
little person with teeth.
right? The teeth have came in. Somebody could have. Well, I don't want to go get all morbid, but you know, you commit a damn crime. You could have did some crime, and then you'd have did it and been out by now. 2 years. 2 years is a long time. I'm just saying, two
Well, I
years.
mean, you know,
But the social.
that's what Diddy's hoping for.
Oh, that's a whole nother man. That's a whole nother thing. This man, look, hold on. Oh shoot, hold on. Let me hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm sitting over here again. I hate that. I'm over here trying to fly the plane and build it at the same time. Let's do this real quick.
Hmm.
Let's change the tune a bit, just a bit, right? Just a bit. I'm over here trying to get some other stuff in. All right. There we go. Okay. 2 years. 2 years, y'all. Can you everybody just, I just want everyone to just remember, where were you 2 years ago?
2
Because
years ago.
2 years ago to this day, they have not they still hadn't done the raid yet. The raid had happened.
No, actually, no, that's not true. The raid had happened 2 years ago.
Wait, you sure? I thought it happened
The
on your
raid
birthday.
happened before the tape came out. No, the Cassie tape came out on my birthday. The raid happened
Okay.
before that.
Oh man. Okay. See, I'm getting my timelines mixed
Yeah, the raid
up.
was
Okay.
April. The raid was April.
Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. When the Cassie tape came out, you said people were hitting you up and you were just apprehensive about
It was,
going
yeah, it was,
outside.
you're right, Mary. It was late March. It was late March 2024 because I did the interviews with Real Life about it, talking about the raid in April 2025,
April.
and
I remember
then
that.
May 17th,
2024.
May 17th, 2024, and then May 17th, 2024. That's when the videotape hit. Yeah. So it was yeah, crazy. And that was still months before Diddy got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Because Diddy got arrested in September. So like, what are we talking? Yeah, it was still 4 months off. You
Yeah.
remember when the arrest
Mm-hmm.
happened? Like that was
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And we got
It
doxxed.
was right after.
That was your first time getting doxxed with me. Like,
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah,
ooh.
man. That was a time. That was definitely a time. Now here we are, and yeah, like people are saying, they're saying happy early birthday. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna go live on your birthday. What, are you just gonna chill? I don't know, but um, regardless to what, y'all should be hitting the Cash App, or just, I'd say, just donate to her legal defense fund or whatever. Because if y'all thought the Diddy stuff, that legal stuff was something, just wait until we start rolling out this other thing. But in due time, justice is not rushed. Justice, it's slow. That's what they say. They say justice is slow. So just remember that. But your
Yeah.
birthday is coming,
Mm.
and you'll be here. Your birthday will be here, and yeah, you're gonna have a good time. Everything's gonna be fine.
That sounds good.
Mm.
Look, somebody said funky fresh set in the West ready to party. I love it. I love it. Yeah, like I said, my birthday is just it means like it's just so much different now. Like I had a plan. Wait a minute, a cash chat party? Now that sounds awesome. That would be great.
We can do
Uh
that.
oof. That would be nice.
Let's
Listen to
do it.
me. I remember when Nosy Ho used to get online for her birthday and she would just be sitting there racking up money. It's my birthday. Send me money. Send me money. That's what they used to do on YouTube. And send me money. Send me money. And she would get dressed and put on makeup and
And
sit there in
twerk,
front
huh?
of the camera, dancing in front of the camera, and people
I
just
knew it. I knew it.
send it. Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it had to be something dealing with some twerking.
Well, I mean, she really wasn't the twerking type. She would just do her thing. Armand, if you ask me, Armand is probably the most vicious YouTube twerker that I've seen.
Yeah.
And salute to Armand shouting me out on his show, talking about my haircut, trying to imply that I choose to keep my haircut because I'm poor. When the truth is I've been cutting my hair for years. The first time I cut my hair, it was over a decade ago, and I did it in solidarity for, some women in my life who had cancer. They were stage 3 and stage
Okay.
4. And of the 4 women that had it, 2 of them are deceased. I continued to
Mm.
cut my hair from that point forward because I decided that I no longer wanted to up my chances for getting cancer by like putting a bunch of chemicals in your hair, putting a bunch of chemicals in your body and stuff like that. Yeah. The cutting of the hair and the natural hair was a choice to prolong my life.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Even
salute for
people, even
acknowledging.
even when, am I delayed or something? Because even when you put braids, there's chemicals. We were just talking about that, where there's chemicals within the synthetic hair or the braids too. And yeah, I mean, number one, your hairstyle, cut, whatever, is not cheap. Trust me. So I don't know what he thinks. So, but yeah, again, whatever. Yeah, shout out to him. Mm.
No, I mean, I know why he's mad, and he's not gonna say why he's mad. That's why he's taking little, childish shots at me, bringing me up in situations that I have nothing to do with. Because I don't know, how do you go from talking about Tasha K to talking about me, and my hair and whatever the case may be. But what I will say is you can even call me, because you have my phone number. You can call me and we could talk it out like two adults. If you really want me to take down the audio that you want me to, you didn't want anybody to hear because you deleted it, because that's really what you're upset about. You're upset about the audio of you calling out another YouTuber for being a very, very, very despicable person who allegedly puts young people in jeopardy and even causes their demise.
Mm.
And guess what? Since you don't want to take, the liberty to just call me so we could talk about it, and you just want to take little stupid, silly shots at me, I'm just going to leave it up. So everybody can hear you call out Michael Braggs. See, the last time I privated it, or should I say I made it members only so it wouldn't be public. Now I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it. And if you really want me to take it down, you can just call me and you can explain to me why I should. I love how people get beside themselves and get real cute. Because the last I heard, Michael Braggs was planning on going to the police to send police to your door. I'm just curious how he figured out where you live in that new, well, we're moving on now after the Diddy trial. We you know what? I'll leave that go. I'll let that go. I'll let that go.
All right. Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, it's
Let's
been
get into
quite
it.
the week.
We can talk about
It's
the
been quite.
the YouTube effery down the line, but I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things that have happened this week, and most recently, y'all. I guess what do we do? Do we vote? Let's vote. I don't know, because we got the Drake situation. I mean, we'll briefly talk about that. I just find it interesting, Jag hasn't heard the album. I heard the one album, and I'll save my critique or whatever. We also got this situation with Kevin Hart. We did a video on Kevin Hart earlier this week, but we didn't really get into the whole entire roast and the disrespect. And then also, coincidentally, after the roast, we had a situation where Bloomberg dropped an article about trouble in the waters for Heartbeat Productions. We'll get into that. We also have,
Yeah.
I guess
There's also trouble in the waters for Fenty.
for Rihanna. Yeah, I wanted to Rihanna being the
Yeah.
quote unquote billionaire. We got some breaking, like we got something we'll talk about with that, because to me that's interesting. And then maybe we'll talk about this Kandi Burruss divorce situation. We'll see. It's just so much going on right now. Oh, Lizzo album flopping, and maybe we'll talk about that. I don't know, but what do y'all
Lizzo's in
wanna
her
talk about
feelings.
first? Lizzo is yeah. Barbara Martinez, thank you. She sent you
Oh, thank you, Barbara.
an early birthday gift.
Thank you. Salute to you. Thank you so much. Listen to me. You want to hear my thoughts on Tiffany? Don't leave your kids around me. True pedal for real. Ass Puff Daddy.
Oh,
Haddish?
oh man, that was funny.
Oh.
Leave your kids around me. Don't leave your kids around me. Wow.
True pedo for real. Hey Tiff, I hear you like me young. You know, it's wild. The tie-ins. I could tie stuff in. Man, oh man, oh man, like a bridge over troubled waters. Yes, yes, yes. These
Okay.
people are in trouble, trouble. A lot of people are in trouble. So, do you want
Yeah.
to start with the rose, or do you want
You
to start
maybe
with
we should
Drake?
just do the lightweight stuff first. Let's start with
Okay.
this. Drake. Drake dropped
Yeah,
the Iceman album last night.
I thought you was gonna say his
And yeah, the
testes.
internet. Oh damn, nah, I didn't say that. Eh, it ain't like that. Not like that. Like, but
Poor
basically,
guy.
he shocked everyone. He shocked everyone because not only did he drop Iceman, I think that had about 18 tracks. He dropped another album called Habibti, and he dropped another album titled Maid of Honor the same night. And he got plenty of digs that he done, said about Joe Budden. He dissed Dr. Dre. He dissed Jay-Z. And him and Kendrick been going at it. Of course, he been talking all kind of mess about Kendrick, and they said, him and Kendrick, they threw jabs at each other with diss tracks, Not Like Us, Family Matters. Now Drake escalated the feud by making scathing comments about Kendrick Lamar in his new album. So he got a song "Make 'Em Pay." Is that the one where he sampled? Is that the one? I don't know if that's the one. So I listened to the album. I listened to the majority of the album, and it's cool. He had one where he sampled Minnie Riperton. Fire. The production on that is fire. And Drake. I mean, I'm not impressed by Drake's his. He don't. To me, he's alright. Like as far as like spitters, he's alright. Not impressed. But that song was dope. I don't think "Make 'Em Pay" was that song, but
Him or
"Make 'Em
his
Pay."
ghostwriters.
Well, exactly. Well, that's a whole nother conversation. But "Make 'Em Pay," he sung about how he filed the lawsuit against his own record label, UMG, and he accused them of defamation for releasing "Not Like Us," which everybody knows Kendrick Lamar called him a PDF. The now dismissed lawsuit, Drake claimed UMG illegally boosted the song's popularity. In the song, he says, "Damn, who is this guy for real? I guess a magician. 100 million streams vanish. No one gets the question." And that's what he said on "Make 'Em Pay." And I find that very interesting. Oh, okay. I think "Make 'Em Remember" is the song, because he clowned Kendrick as well as far as him being 5'3". He compared him to Muggsy Bogues. He said,
Jesus, he's
and
always talking about how short this guy is, and yet he doesn't see how bad that looks for him, because this little dude mollywopped all over you for a whole year.
yeah, yeah,
You shouldn't be sitting
he,
there
he
bragging about getting your ass kicked by a little guy.
I mean, he definitely should move on, but I get it, because look, he's also saying, he goes after Kendrick Lamar's public image on the album. He said white kids listen to you because they feel some guilt, and that's how your soul gets fulfilled. So like he just goes in. So he's basically saying the only reason why white kids listen to Kendrick Lamar is because they feel guilty about whatever, white guilt, I don't know, and that's how Kendrick is getting fulfilled or whatever. He also talked about Kendrick Lamar. Well, peep it. He also talked about Kendrick
So why do
Lamar on
white
a
kids
song called
listen to him?
"Dust and
Because
Dust"
he's
pretty
half
dope.
white?
Well, that's why, yeah. And he says the N word, and they can say the N word along with him while they're singing his raps. That's probably why. But Drake said on the song "Dust." What was the year you said you had slaps? Because I don't remember it going like that. I don't remember one word of your raps. He's talking about Kendrick Lamar. I mean, he went at J. Cole. Of course, I told you he went at Jay-Z. He dissed DJ Khaled, ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. Rick Ross. Make him pay when he said about Rick Ross. I was aiding Ross with streams before aiding Ross had ever streamed. That was clever. That was really clever. I was aiding Rick Ross with streams before Aiden Ross ever had a stream. My whole and he went at Pharrell too. He dissed LeBron James as well. Like Drake just was on one. Drake was on one for this album, and the album is pretty cool. It's alright. I'm not a hella Drake fan. I like Drake's old music. I ain't go front. I like some of the old, but I've never really gotten to like a whole album. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna bump this Drake. Never.
Worst Behavior was one of my favorites. I loved Worst Behavior. Started from the bottom. Of course, everyone loved that record until you really thought about where his bottom actually was. He started out as a television star. So, it's like I like certain songs from bottom. Well, I mean, could go there. I'm trying not to be petty. But the thing is like I liked Drake's songs. I can't say that I ever listened to a whole Drake album. Matter of fact, I never wanted to. Like, I've never had a desire to, let me listen to this whole album. See, I've always enjoyed listening to Kendrick Lamar's albums because they were compositions. They were composition pieces. I enjoyed listening to his albums because I liked the story that he would tell. I liked the way he took you on a journey with the way he went from scenario to scenario to scenario. Drake has had a bunch of hits, but I can't ever say that he's ever had an album that I've wanted to go listen to. I've never listened to a full Drake album. Never. And the idea of him taking 2 years, because let's just keep it real. Like, he really hasn't been present musically since Not Like Us. Not Like Us, it was like, boom, he was put on vacation. And for me, I think, do you know what I think is missing in all of his disses and everything that he's doing and all that he's saying? Like his dismissed lawsuit for defamation, all of that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you want to know the one thing he hasn't said? Prove it. You got the whole world to call me a PDFer. Prove it. Like, to me, that would have been hard. If he had a record talking about people proving him to be what he was accused to be, that would have been interesting.
That definitely would have been interesting. But you know what else is interesting, Jag? Because we're talking about PDFs and all that. So this album cover, right? This album cover. Yeah. This is the artwork for the album cover. For those who don't know, now it could be taken 2 different ways. I saw Black Dot speak on it or say something about this is almost this. If you from LA, y'all know this is a sign for Playboy Hustlers. This is a gang sign. This is Playboy Hustlers, right? But this is supposed to be, Iceman, the glove, beat it, blah, blah, blah. But it could be Playboy. It could be the bunny. I think Dot was saying something about following the White Rabbit. Now, those who know that also is the white power signal. If you're in the know, if you know, you know. I'll just say it like that. But bro, the White House tweeted this a few hours ago. They tweeted it, and they had it holding the MAGA chain. I'm not finna put that up, not at all. You already know. But they tweeted Drake's album cover with this same hand gesture holding the MAGA chain, and I found that very interesting. And of course, a lot
Wait
of
a minute, the
people.
White House added that?
The White House tweeted that. Yes. I'm not gonna play it. I mean, I'm not gonna show it, but I'm sure if y'all are aware, yeah, the White House tweeted that. The
That's
USA
kind of
Today, they're
disturbing.
talking about it. The White
No, that's kind of
House,
disturbing.
um, it says the photo was edited to show a large chain with a diamond encrusted pendant that says MAGA, which stands for Make America Great Again, a slogan widely associated with President Donald Trump. So this is, to me, this is also kind of like dog whistling, because we
That's
are,
very dog whistle.
go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
No, I'm going to wrap it, because I basically was just going to say them doing this doctored album cover for the White House. People were kind of heated. Someone said, delete this. And Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo, they slammed the White House. And, just the whole thing, because think about it, ICE, and, the whole thing with this, yeah, I don't know. I will say just bad timing. Remember that what they did last time, and I brought it up I said this is problematic when they used Biggie's song, and they had the N-word in it. Like, someone in the White House thought that was a good idea to, put that out there on social media. So
Yeah.
yeah,
There's been a lot of things that
yeah,
have been going on. See, what a lot of people don't understand about that symbolism, and of course, the Michael Jackson glove, and technically, you know what I mean? We all know that to be Michael Jackson. Like, and let's remember, he's clout chasing this moment. Like, he's clout chasing this moment. Right now, the whole world is talking about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson has come back from the grave and is now out trending Justin Bieber. Like, so of course, this image, the first thing we're all going to think about is Michael Jackson, Motown 25, him on stage doing the moonwalk for the first time. You know what I mean? Like, he's cloud chasing
yeah,
this moment. So not cool. But
yeah,
that symbolism, and it's so funny because, like I was telling you, that was the same hand sign that the Roots used to have everybody put up for OK Player.
that someone put that in the chat. They literally just put that. Yep.
So we just saw Beyonce at her little, luncheon, whatever she had with Chloe Bailey and all of them there and all of that, and her making that hand sign and putting it over her eye. We just saw Papoose making the same hand symbol and putting it over his eye. Like, all of this is tied into the occult. You know, it's yeah, they playing too much. They playing too much with a lot of demon time, in my opinion. Yes, Mary. Just recently, Beyonce, before the Met Gala, had her had some kind of luncheon with a bunch of, so-called artists that she works with, that she's endorsing, and she was just sitting there doing that symbol over her eyes, smiling like a, you know, oof, like an idiot. I For me, they're doing too much. But to take this and and to use Michael Jackson this way at this time, it's all in poor taste, if you ask me. Oh, I see somebody in the chat. Salute, what's going on, EF? Nothing but love, fam.
Check this. Check this out.
So,
Check this out. Um, we'll
what?
move on, but check this out. As I'm going, I wanted to bring this up too. I found this funny. I was looking at a few things this week. Yeah, it was this week. It was this week, or maybe it was last week. But the FIFA World Cup, all these artists are coming in global. It's a global thing. All these artists are coming in, and I saw Tyler
God.
with this. I said, boom. I said, because since we're talking about the OK player, all that symbolism, I said, let me bring this to the light. I wanted to talk about it, but I was like, I'm not, I'm good. But I find that interesting. I find that very interesting. I find that very interesting. I think a
No,
lot of
they're
us,
all playing with it.
yeah,
They're all playing with it. They're all playing with it. And it's just too much.
yeah,
It's too much for me
yeah.
because people are buying into it and they're not even looking at it. I mean, the truth is if our country was truly awake, everyone keeps running around talking about woke culture and this, that, and the third. If we were truly awake, we would be boycotting all of this crap.
Oh yeah, all day.
Like the simple fact that Drake came forward and that, like, it should be, you know what? We're not banning you and we're not boycotting you anymore because Kendrick said you were a PDF. We're just doing it now because you're sitting here, you're glorifying Satan worship. And we good. Like, it's they keep doing it. They just keep doing it. And they keep throwing it in everybody's face.
Yeah.
And it's
And
just it's disgusting.
for the record, I heard the album. I didn't hear the other two albums. I had to sit myself down to really sit and listen to all them damn songs, and I was just like, it was like a goddamn root canal. Like, come on, man, just get this over with. But shout out to Drake. Okay. Anyway, what we got? What we got next up, Miss Wright?
Well, I don't know. Where do we go after talking about? I'm over it. Like, I'm over Drake. I'm over Drake. I'm over the whole thing. I'm over all of this fake crap. I'm over hip hop.
Yeah.
What they're calling hip hop.
Yeah.
Because what they're calling hip hop isn't hip hop.
It ain't, not at all.
And rap culture is whack. Like, it's just all whack. And it's just like you sat out for years and complained and filed lawsuits and complained and filed lawsuits for this. Now people are coming back and they're saying, oh, he just released a classic. And I'm like, what makes it a classic? Oh, he dissed everybody. He dissed this person. He dissed that person. Okay. All right. And does anybody really care?
Not really. You know what would have been the best
He's
comeback
been
for
throwing
him?
a virtual what?
Just come with some straight heat. Like, just that's it. That's it. That's all he could have done. But anyway, hold on. Let me step out and come back in. Go ahead.
And I got some family in the chat, so salute. Don't be upset if I don't call you out all the way. I just have too many stalkers and too many spies. So you already know what it is, but love to you as well. It's all sacrilegious. It is. It's all sacrilegious. It's all full of crap. And, I don't know. I might listen to it. When I saw the glove and I saw the Shluminati, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Like, that turned me off just from gate. That just turned me off. I don't understand why we're having such a hard time seeing that this entire industry, everything that they're doing right now, it's to get the masses back into and back into your occultism and occult symbols and stuff like that. Like when I look at all of the people that, like, I swear to God, you have no idea how pissed off I still am when I think about how many times I stood on stage with the Roots throwing that okay symbol up, not realizing what they were asking me to do, what I was encouraging. People sitting on stage, singing along with me, being, you know what I mean, just turned up by my energy. And I got them throwing that symbol up. Like it's wild. It's wild, but I was ignorant to that at the time. I did not know that that's what I was doing at the time. And a lot of these young people, they have jumped into these rooms, jumped into these associations, signed on to these companies, and they're sitting here literally just giving it up for the devil. Mary, listen to me. You ain't got to feel sorry. I'm good. I'm good on Drake too. I'm good on Drake. And, we'll see. We'll see what it all turns out to be. We'll see. But I ain't pressed. And I'm not inclined to give a damn. I'm just not. It's like everyone making a big deal. Oh, Drake's album's back. Okay. Like I had the same enthusiasm that I had for Dynasty coming back to TV is the same enthusiasm I had for Drake's album, because it's all the same to me. It's just soap opera. The whole world called you a PDF and you not gonna ask somebody to prove it. Like, unless he's talking about that, I ain't interested in hearing nothing else from him. You want to sit up there and talk about what you did for this person and what you did for that person, like you the Christ of hip hop. Like, I'm good.
Okay.
So welcome back, Wolfgang Amadeus.
I guess
moving on.
Yeah, moving on. I guess we'll move on. Why did that? It's weird. I was trying to get that. Okay, but moving on. Let's talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
The roast of Kevin Hart. Netflix's roast. Kevin Hart live event, Inglewood, California. And it was crazy. We already talked a little bit about this roast, and we primarily focused on the highlight of it, which was Cat Williams coming out looking like Darkwing Duck, roasting the shit out of Kevin Hart. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That roast that Kevin Hart, we should have had a lot more comedians that were of that ilk coming at Kevin. Like Cat did a great job, so shout out to Cat Williams. But here we are with
should we pick this apart?
People, let's do it.
Should we pick this apart?
Because I want to go there with the bad taste jokes, how they dogged out Cheryl Underwood, how that was that Roach Cliff, whatever his name is, the George Floyd joke. A lot of unnecessary anti-black commentary jokes, in my opinion. Go ahead.
Okay. How do we get into this? Oh, and by the way, just so you know, there were certain people that participated in the roast that weren't sitting up on the stage, who came out and made cameos. But if you're looking, like Tiana Taylor was one of them, I don't see her here. And Cat Williams isn't here, but The Rock is. Like, there are some people who came out and did not sit on those chairs. They did not sit on those seats. They came to the podium and then they walked off, and that was that. But Cat Williams, he came and left. He didn't do no photo ops. He didn't do no nothing. Okay. Now there were some people that were sitting there on that stage that also said nothing.
Hmm.
Tiffany Haddish acknowledged that she was, a glorified seat filler and how bad she had to go to the bathroom and how the show was too long and whatever the case may be. But let's forget about the fact that she didn't offer anything. She offered nothing to the show. Let's talk about the fact that Kevin Hart kept saying to all of my sisters who are up here. He called out Chelsea Handler. He called out Regina Hall. He called out, what's her name? He called out I'm sorry, Cheryl Underwood. But he did
Cheryl
not
Underwood, yeah.
acknowledge Tiffany Haddish at all. He even acknowledged Lizzo. I did not hear Kevin Hart not one time acknowledge Tiffany Haddish at all. And it's wild because right after it happened, TMZ ran up on her in the street and they were talking about, oh, you look so wonderful. And we just wanted to talk to you about the roast and she's, oh, well, I was just a seat filler. I had to go to the bathroom. Show was too long. And they were like, well, what do you think about, Lonnie Love was talking about this and talking about that and how inappropriate it was for them to talk about George Floyd. And Tiffany comes and says, oh, you mean people that weren't invited to be there? And then she just turned off and walked like she had a mic drop moment or something, like she was doing something. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, you're talking about being invited, but Kevin Hart, everyone pretty much attributes him to being the guy that put her on, to mentoring her, to getting her into Hollywood, like to walking her in. Even though she's from California and he's from Philadelphia. Like everyone, am I wrong?
No.
And it was wild because I forgot when Kevin Hart said it though, that night at the roast. Chelsea Handler was the person to give him his first big break for him to be acknowledged. And Chelsea has the perfect last name. Because as far as I'm concerned, she is most definitely a Hollywood handler. And she's also Tiffany's handler.
Well, her name is Chelsea, the handler.
He did not acknowledge Tiffany at all. And she's sitting there talking about, oh, the people that have a problem with it are the people who weren't invited. But the question is, who invited you? Because I don't think it was Kevin. I think Tiffany was brought there by Chelsea because they're trying to find a way to ingratiate her back into pop culture. They got her on the cover of Sports Illustrated, which I don't understand because she don't have nothing to do with sports. And the swimsuit. I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. She looks good. She's in great health. And she's, for a woman that's never given birth to a child, even though she likes holding them, I don't get it. But we all need to be watching. I'm telling you. Listen to me. Chelsea has the perfect name. She has the perfect name. And not at one point in time did Kevin Hart acknowledge her at all, which I thought was bizarre. I don't know. What about you?
Oh, no. I was peeping that. And yeah, he never said her. He said it a couple of times where he mentioned Cheryl. He mentioned Lizzo. He mentioned Regina Hall. Didn't mention Tiffany. I found that very peculiar. And he has
Not
a
at
lot of
all.
people up on there. He had a lot of people on there that were basically, they were his support, his team, his people that he, have around. Like I'm now seeing this. well, Dwayne Martin wasn't on the dais or the stage, but he's in the photo here. It's very interesting.
Well, he was Hollywood house husband. That
Yeah, I
Hollywood
remember that.
house husband foolishness. So I can understand he was a cast member for that. Like everyone up here has had some kind of proximity to him in some way, shape, or form. Yet listen to me. Talk about it. If Get Out had a brand ambassador,
Mm.
that part
Cat is hilarious. Cat is hilarious.
that is
Well,
hilarious. No, but
I didn't like the
I'm
fact
serious. It's like,
that
uh,
I didn't like the anti-black jokes that they were, Draymond Green. He kept getting booed. Poor guy. Um, they were
why?
like the joke where Draymond Green or Cheryl Underwood is so black they used Draymond Green to color correct the cameras to like they were just being real disrespectful, real anti-black, and that's why I don't like about Hollywood. I don't like that. I'm cool on that. And then the George Floyd situation, which was not needed, which was not funny. So the death of a black man is funny, and it's Cheryl Underwood too.
No,
The death of her husband,
it wasn't.
that's funny.
Listen to me. The way they kept making fun of her husband committing suicide, like I'm like, I don't know. For me, it was just, it was too much. It was too much. And the thing that I think that bothered me the most about all of that race, all of those racist shenanigans that were happening on that stage, for me, was looking at how comfortable the black people that were sitting on stage were with it happening. Like at some point in time, I was waiting for one of the sisters to be like, yo, not so much on Cheryl though.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? The one joke that they had said about her being her looking like, what was it, a purple Laffy Taffy that had just gotten out of the
Mm.
dryer? Like and that came out of a white mouth, not a black mouth. It's they were just too comfortable. They were too comfortable.
I
But I
mean,
will say, Acto, I said Acto, Lizzo, maybe your album flopping is a great like opportunity for you to go into acting, because she was definitely acting. She was
hmm
definitely acting, because every fat joke they ran down on her with, she looked like you could see she was ready to cry, but she held it together really nice.
hmm hmm
She held it together really nice. I didn't understand why she was there. I didn't understand. Like, this is supposed to be a roast. You should have comedians. Comedians. Eddie Murphy is Kevin Hart's favorite comedian, is in business with Netflix. And at no point in time, it just they couldn't get him there.
not
Shane
not only
Gillis.
not only not
Mhm.
only Eddie Murphy. Yeah, I mean, well, they had Shane Gillis, hosted. I mean, oh, man, Martin Lawrence. Like, I'm just saying, like, they should have really had some real comedians up there. Not saying that they were not real comedians, because I'll give it up to Cheryl Underwood. She went up there and cooked. She was one of the better ones, and I'm not mad at her. Shout out to her. But they
Did
really
okay.
just, yeah, that,
Did okay.
yeah,
Did okay.
yeah.
Can we be honest? They were reading off of a teleprompter. Most of the people up there did not write their own jokes. Who wrote the jokes?
I think Cat wrote his, but I think Cat was reading too,
I know Cat
because
wrote his.
but Cat was reading. I mean, I don't know, so I don't know.
Like, who was writing the jokes? These people, cause see, I want to know who was really the person that was behind, who was the hand behind all of the the low key racism that was going on that stage. I still don't understand what Lizzo was doing there. Regina Hall, they're friends. She's a comedic actress. Um, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really do a lot of laughing during her skit. I thought it was interesting that he was comfortable with people playing with his deceased parents. Um, I thought that was interesting. I did. I thought that was real interesting. Um, The Rock. We'll finish with Tony Hinchcliffe. Like I find it interesting that he has that name Hinch. Like that's how his last name Hinch. Like henchman for the lynch mob. I
Mm.
I just, like it's well we all know that Kevin Hart isn't a real comedian because if you ask me, he did the worst of everybody there, and it was his roast. Everybody got to go first, and he got to go last. I didn't find him funny. Like the most hysterical he was, the best shot that he took was talking about The Rock having AIDS.
Damn. That was funny though. That was funny.
But see, the thing is it wasn't funny. What was funny was us watching his obvious embarrassment and reaction to that big ass man telling him to suck on my nipples. I'm gonna go lay this pipe to your wife, and you gonna watch. He literally sat there and said, "We're gonna take you and we're gonna put you in your cuck high chair," and his wife sat there and laughed with her mother. Look, Naeem was funnier than Kevin. He was. But that ain't saying much. Naeem did a whole lot of truth telling though. Because Naeem is, the Paul Mooney of their relationship. Just like Paul Mooney was for Richard Pryor, you got Naeem for Kevin Hart. And it's just it was this whole roast was problematic in my opinion. It was all problematic, but the Rock, I'm just trying to figure out how you got people calling you the goat of what? They throwing around a whole it was a huge humiliation ritual is what it was. And it's wild because, and salute to Cheryl Underwood, I don't think her jokes were all that funny. She just spent a lot of time talking about, you want this black pussy and you want this, like I think what did she tell, like I would have to say like 80% of what she had to say was all pussy jokes about how everybody wanted to have sex with her.
Yeah, you got a
like
point.
I don't see that as funny. I don't see that as funny. I think what we really just like, I think what we saw and what we were feeling was, damn, they ran down on you all night. They talked about you. They turned you into Celie from The Color Purple. This was Kevin Hart's roast. And the truth is, she got slammed harder than Kevin Hart did. Like, right. I don't think anybody's paying attention to that. Cheryl Underwood got slammed harder at Kevin Hart's roast than Kevin Hart did. Like, it was wild. It was like, and all of the white comedians, they got their turn. The only one that gave her a little bit of grace was Chelsea Handler. And Chelsea Handler, all night long, they just talking about how many, deletions that she did and her sticking with 50 Cent and what a whore she was. And she was just so happy to be a whore because she was just like, it's It was I don't
Like,
know. I don't know.
I guess
Mm.
behind a lot of them jokes, there was some truth. A lot of that, like you said, humiliation stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're not finna disrespect me, making jokes. The Rock making jokes about, like, like I'm a cut. Nah, I'm good. Like, ugh,
No, he said we're gonna
nah.
put you in your cuck high chair so you can watch me beat the brakes off your wife with this big old Samoan, half black and half Samoan. Like, come here, suck on my areola. Like, is nobody not seeing exactly like how like gay that whole thing was? Like, it was. I mean, I can understand why The Rock was there because the truth is, Kevin Hart got famous doing movies with The Rock. Like, that's when he became a household name, being The Rock's sidekick. And it's
Yeah,
wild because while he's sitting there talking about Cat Williams' career, you've spent your whole time in Hollywood playing humiliating roles and sidekicks. He has been in a dress. He has been held like a baby. He's a grown man wearing a bib. Like, he is the poster child. And Kat was right about that. No, you have never said no. You'll do anything. And then it's wild because through the whole show, he's sitting there. Yeah, because I'm sponsored into my brand partnership people, into this, into Chase, into this company, into that company. I didn't realize how many companies own his ass. Like, he's probably a bigger endorsement whore than Beyonce.
well,
I didn't
let's get
realize
into
that.
that. Let's get into that because that's kind of where I wanted to take this conversation. Now, you guys tell me if I'm incorrect, and you can pause me when you want, Jag, because I'm going to break down this article that came out, on in Bloomberg a day after the roast. So, it's about celebrity brands. It's about private equity. It's about black media ownership. It's about the Hollywood contract. It's about employee layoffs and what happens when a company is built around one superstar's name, but the superstar starts moving his brand somewhere else. So I'm glad you mentioned that because employees of Heartbeat are calling chaos. Now, this is according to Bloomberg. There's an article. You guys can go to Bloomberg and check it out. They said there's chaos inside Kevin Hart's media company, Heartbeat. And now the company has reportedly been struggling after once being valued around 650 million. The article reports that Heartbeat had gone through layoffs, executive exits, slowed production, canceled or stalled projects, and internal anxiety over Kevin Hart's new deal with Authentic Brand Group, Authentic Brands Group. So the biggest point is some of the current and former employees reportedly believe Kevin Hart's deal with Authentic may be a signal, the beginning of the end for Heartbeat. So the deal gives Authentic a role in managing Kevin Hart's brand, his name, his image, and likeness, while Hart also becomes a shareholder in Authentic. Heartbeat employees are reportedly concerned because endorsement deals once were a major part of Heartbeat's business. Now they're being handled through Authentic instead of Heartbeat. What do you have to say about that?
I think what I have to say about it is it's just proving the point that I've been making. I do not believe that any of these people are what they try to make the public believe they are. I do not believe that any of this is real. You know, when he bought Ball Busters for his brother back in Philadelphia, where we all grew up shooting pool, and when the pandemic came, 40 kind of disappeared, and The story around Philadelphia was is that he was playing, you know, in the US Open for amateurs going professional billiards, which I did a little research, come to find out that that was a lie, because all of a sudden it was, well, people were threatening to kidnap him because of his brother. And this was all around the time of that car accident. And I don't know when the last time anybody seen 40. And apparently, this management company was hired to come in and run the pool hall. So it was so funny because listening to this report talking about how he was supposed to become CEO, but then all of a sudden you don't see him around. He's not showing up for weeks and months at a time. And there's this management company that
Well,
shows up.
here's what else. Here's the article also says that they had layoffs in December, and this is including the people in scripted TV, marketing, social media, brand partnerships, and also podcast deals, leaderships. I've been to the Heartbeat Studios in LA, and it's nice. And I forgot who he had all there. This was some time back, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and set up nice at the time. I mean, you could tell it was popping. But they're saying a lot has going on now with the podcast thing there. They had to set up and all that. But the company, they sued two former podcast executives for breach of contract and alleged trade secret issues. Though the court denied Heartbeat's request for a preliminary injunction, saying the company had not shown enough evidence that proprietary info or trade secrets were used. Another theme with this Kevin Hart situation is becoming less present. They say he's becoming less present in the company's day-to-day operations. Like you said, after he said in January of 2025 that he would take over as the CEO. Employees reportedly said he went weeks or months without visiting the office and left daily management to a smaller group of executives. And the two of them, the people are Eric Stoneburner and Jeff Clanagan. So, and there's also saying that there was internal conflict involving Clanagan. Clanagan was operating cold black while working in a senior Heartbeat role. And employees raised concerns that Heartbeat resources and YouTube's advantages were being used to benefit cold black channels. The article also
Wow.
said Flanagan also became interested in AI generated video and pushed employees towards an app called Blacktopia. So if you want, I can summarize it because this is pretty much what the article is saying. The broader business level is that Heartbeat is an
Sure.
example of
Summarize.
it's the Heartbeat is an example of the risks behind celebrity media companies. So investors bet on famous people being able to build big media empires, but when the business depends too much on the star's personal involvement, when it depends too much on the brand deals, the Hollywood spending, the company can become fragile. The article frames Heartbeat's problems as a part of a larger Hollywood slowdown where production companies are dealing with shrinking budgets, streaming cutbacks, and less money being thrown around.
I don't know what it sounds like to me is that some corporate billionaires got themselves a hold of a thirsty black person who was willing to sacrifice it all just so he could pretend to be, rich and famous and powerful, and that they used his name and his face and his likeness to do whatever they needed to do. And then as things started to, dwindle down and turn around, he disappears, and then all of a sudden, like for instance, like everyone talks about Rock Nation, but the truth is Sean Carter really ain't doing nothing over there. It's the Perez's that are running that company. They're running that company. It ain't Sean Carter. And I just wish people would stop pretending like they don't see this for themselves. It's like we've gotten so comfortable with the idea of allowing ourselves to be used, to be manipulated, and to be exploited, that it's okay. And that we don't want to take oh, he's a billionaire. Oh, he's a multimillionaire. Oh, he's so successful. Are you sure? Are you sure that that's what that is going on over there? It sounds like they're just about to cash out and that's just going to be that. And honestly, that roast just, it was like a cop getting that gold watch upon retirement after giving all the best years of his life to the force. You know? That's just kind of what it felt like to me. But maybe I'm crazy.
Nope. I think that roast was the end of Kevin Hart's deal with Netflix, I believe. They normally do
Mm.
roast after when they're pretty much ending your contract. So
Yeah.
no, you're right.
So it's just like, we gonna see. I tell you one thing though, it gave me the, it made me almost, actually, it made me more uncomfortable than the comedy roast that they did for Flavor Flav. And that's funny because somebody up there on that stage mentioned that he was the only other black person to get a roast like this other than Flavor Flav. And I'm like, I find it funny because they're both considered two of the biggest coons. And there was, it was like really, 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 really racial for Flavor Flav's roast as well.
Mm.
Highly disrespectful. So I'm just, I don't know what people saw. I don't know what people are looking for or what they're thinking. But what I will say is, listen to me, the Comedy Central roast, I don't know if you noticed, Comedy Central is gone, so it all just folded into Netflix. Like it's pretty much the same thing now. Am I wrong?
No, no.
So it's just, yeah, Walmart. Yeah, like I didn't realize how many brand deals he had, and they just use him and they use him, and he was up there pretty much doing commercials on the stage. Like he was better at doing the commercials and the and 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 the please, buy into this product than he was doing with his own with the comedy. Like like where was the comedy? That's the big part. You got AIDS, and we need to hurry up and make this movie because he's gonna die. Like that's the best you got. I, I can't. I can't. And you barely got any comedians on the stage roasting you for a comedian's roast. Like, all right. Like I when I seen Lizzo come out, I'm like, okay, now I don't understand.
You were lost,
Now
huh?
I really don't understand what's going on here. The Tiana Taylor was a mess too, and her whole letter, and and then it was wild because Shane Gillis just came over and was like, yeah, I'm gonna holler at this bitch later, and I'm like,
Wow.
wow,
Wow.
that's what we doing?
Wow.
Like you didn't catch that?
Hey, well, let's talk about the trap queen, the Fenty queen. You want to get into
Mm.
this because I know you were doing some research on all these things that's going on with the business dealings that are involved with Fenty and some very peculiar things that have came up with her empire and how it's collapsing.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Nobody is really talking about what's going on with Fenty. And you know, for a long time, they've been using this girl. And I've been saying it for a while. Like all of these women, they're all shell corporations that they pretty much use to do all kinds of work through. We're not even going to like okay, nobody wants to deal with her phone numbers, two of her phone numbers being on Jeffrey Epstein's call log. That's fine. We don't have to deal with that. We could pretend like
Nobody
that's
wants.
not even a real thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's not even. Yeah, they're gonna act like that didn't exist. But go ahead.
We're going to pretend like that's not a real thing. You got Russell Simmons doing interviews talking about, hey, I was only mentioning Epstein files because somebody he knew was trying to come to my house. Don't put me in that shit. Like you why so upset, dude? If there's nothing there while you're still living in Bali, hiding from all of your cases. Like it's just wild. I still don't understand what a young girl like her would have been doing on Jeffrey Epstein's call logs, but hey, whatever. It's just there's always so much, but I think people tend to forget Rihanna has had to file for bankruptcy on a few occasions in the past before she became a billionaire. Um, and then came along Filthy.
Yeah,
Yeah. So let's just get into some of this. Let's start with this. We got some bullet points we wanted to share with you guys regarding Fenty. So we're going to start here with the Fenty empire collapse. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So this was a whole video
I can.
that was done. I don't know if you guys seen it. We'll probably take it and just drop a link to the video in the description after we're done today. But let's start
Yeah,
with this. Okay. So we open up by framing the Fenty empire as a story of massive hype followed by quiet financial unraveling. It starts with Forbes declaring Rihanna a billionaire in 2021, based largely on the estimated value of Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty. At the same time, LVMH was publicly saying Fenty Beauty had doubled revenue, while Savage X Fenty was reportedly being prepared for a potential $3 billion IPO.
but
Okay.
several pieces of that empire later weakened. So what they said, they talked about the Fenty fashion line that collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna's fashion investment reportedly lost about what 36 million, and then the
36 million.
Savage 36 million. The Savage X
Mm-hmm.
Fenty IPO, it just went away. So,
Yeah, it
and then
disappeared.
left.
And the
The
CEO,
CEO left 14. Yeah, left 14 months later, right?
hmm and LVMH later explored selling its Fenty Beauty stake at a valuation far lower than the number Forbes used to call Rihanna a billionaire. So before we move on, let's just collapse all of that and make it real simple. Okay? She was given the billionaire status based on projections of what they wanted the business, or they were hoping the business was going to do, based off of her worldwide star power.
Right. Almost like AI. Almost like these AI companies.
That part. Okay, we might drop the link at the end, so I'd say just stick around. So I want people to understand that when they call people billionaires, it's not necessarily because they have billions or they've earned billions or have access to billions. It's because they're basing it on projections of what they're hoping to make off of someone else's star power. Projections. So I want y'all to think about that, considering that Rihanna became a billionaire before Beyonce did, and then all of a sudden Beyonce became a billionaire. Like it's so
Hmm.
yeah. Anywho's, did I miss
So the math.
anything?
No, you got it. I was gonna like let's get to the math because what you're just saying about how these people all of a sudden become billionaire status. Because now they're saying that Drake is a billionaire too, but that's a whole nother conversation because of the 3 albums
Everybody a
that he
billionaire.
dropped
You're a
and he
billionaire.
released. Yeah, but you got to break down the math of her billionaire status. Forbes estimated Fenty Beauty at what 2.8 billion. This was an estimate because Rihanna owned
Yeah.
50% of it. Her stake was valued at half, 1.4 billion. Forbes then added her 30% stake in Savage X Fenty, which had been valued around a billion from a funding round, leading to an estimated net worth of 1.7 billion. So what the video that we are going to show you guys is saying that the numbers were based on estimates and private market assumptions, not like a hard sell, not hard sell prices. And
Yeah.
they emphasize that no outside investor actually bought into Fenty Beauty
Nope.
at the $2.8 billion valuation, and Savage Fenty's real tested valuation was closer to 1 billion, not 3 billion, not the 3 billion IPO narrative.
Mm-hmm. And considering all of these projections, I think it's fair to say that Rihanna ain't the one running the business.
There you go.
If we're listening, let's listen and let's really pay attention to, she is the face of somebody else's pocketbook. Am I wrong?
No,
Is that putting it?
that says a lot. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into the next parcel. And the next parcel is how the billionaire number was built. Okay. All right. So we're going to get into breaking down the math behind Rihanna's billionaire status. Forbes. What?
I went over that. It's the LV. What is it? Who is it?
The
LVMH.
LVMH, which is the Louis Vuitton Corporation.
Yeah, you no, go into that the Kindle brand, the Kindle
Got it.
brand, whatever that is.
Okay. Got it. All right. So here we go. The LVMH machine nobody sees. Okay, so here we got it. Once we get into this section, we're looking at Fenty Beauty and how Fenty Beauty was not simply a celebrity brand launched in isolation. It was developed through Kendo brands. And that's Kendo, Kendo brands, a beauty incubator owned by LVMH and distributed through Sephora, which LVMH also owns. The video presents Fenty Beauty as the result of a powerful, vertically integrated system. LVMH helped build the product. Sephora gave it premium retail access, and Rihanna's social media presence gave it massive cultural reach. The transcript says Fenty Beauty did around 573 million in its first full year and later expanded into Fenty Skin and Fenty Hair. But the chapter argues that Kendo's, its broader track, the broader track record is kind of weak, and claiming that other brands in its portfolio were sold, discontinued, or struggling, making Fenty Beauty a major asset, keeping Kendo relevant. All right, so let's just unpack that. This wasn't her company. This wasn't her company. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know what you're hearing, but that's what I'm hearing. This was Louis Vuitton, who owns Sephora. Sephora is already a heavy brand. You got Kendo Brands, which is also attached to LVMH, coming up with all of this stuff. And basically, it was her social media power that earned her the right for them to use her. So I'm not wrong here. That this is her face on somebody else's pocketbook. I don't know. Am I? What do you think about what we're getting into here? Because this is insane when you think about it.
The
Social media.
this is an example. That's why, the story before with Heartbeat, and this ties into what we were talking about with companies being tied to a celebrity's name.
Yeah.
Now, they were banking on Rihanna and her name alone and her face and all that. I get it. It makes sense. You got a lot of people who will see, oh, Rihanna, this is Rihanna's. This is Rihanna. Like it was looked at like that, but they said this was developed through a company which was owned by LVMH.
Which also had brands that they had out there that were struggling and that were being discontinued and that were performing weak. So basically, for all we know, those brands that were tanking, they just took Rihanna's face and her name and slapped it on it.
And it's almost like what do they call it, white label,
Yeah.
where you would have, okay, yeah, this makeup line will, and then if you just put the sticker on it and say, oh, this is Rihanna's makeup. That's what it sounds like. Yeah,
That's exactly what it sounds like. And welcome. Welcome. We have a new member here, Alternative Kel. Welcome.
now
So,
if the beauty line did around close to 600 million in its first year, and then they got into the skincare and the Fenty hair,
mhm.
they figured, oh, okay, this is good. It's gonna they figured that the gravy train's gonna keep coming, but uh yeah, it didn't work out. It obviously it didn't work out. We get into the um $36 million fashion disaster. Now they were
Mm.
talking about Fenty failed, the failed Fenty fashion house. So in 2019, LVMH. I can't say that quick. I don't know. It's
It's all right.
LV because I'm looking Louis Vuitton. What does the MH stand for? Uh,
Something, I think it's something holdings.
okay, Louis Vuitton. I think it's that other company. Gotcha. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
another
something
company.
holdings. Yeah.
So LVMH launched a new fashion house from scratch with Rihanna. They have never done this internally. The project was reportedly called Project Loud France, and that was connected to Rihanna's Loud album era. Rihanna
Mhm.
allegedly invested about 30 million through
Mhm.
her holdings, Denim UK, which LVMA matched around another 30 million, creating a
Mhm.
roughly $60 million venture. The problem, according to what we were looking at prior, was that the fashion line was priced for luxury consumers. So they were talking about $1,000 jackets, $1,000 corset dresses, $600-700 shoes, while Rihanna's main consumer base from Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty was broader and more accessible. The sales were weak. Then we had COVID disruption,
Mhm.
and the brand went quiet. LVMH eventually put the ready-to-wear option on hold. So they said years later, filings report showing roughly a $36 million loss tied to Rihanna's investment vehicle. So it looks like they had a successful cheaper line, which that's where they were able to, the Fenty Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
and they got into the
And
Fenty
Savage X
skincare,
Fenty.
and then they
Yeah.
got into the Fenty hair, and then they said, okay, let's do a luxury line. We're gonna put $60 million in it, and it's gonna be for the higher price, but that didn't work out. Timing is everything. If you're trying to do something right before 2019 was right before COVID, and then COVID dropped, you that was whew, that was a disaster. That's why they said it was a $36 million disaster. Project Loud France. I've never heard of Rihanna's Loud album. Maybe I'm wow, I don't know. I'm sleeping, but Project Loud France.
1996 said, same as owning the Brooklyn Nets for a 0.5%.
Oh yeah, a half of
Like
one
that.
percent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like that. So is the billionaire title just for show? Well,
Of course, of
well,
course,
yeah. I mean,
of
yeah.
course, of course, of course.
So here we go. All right. So then we get into the next parcel, and that's, the $3 billion IPO that never happened. Okay. So when we get into this portion, okay, we're going to shift to Savage X Fenty, which was the clothing line. All right. Which was supposed to, be the business that balanced out the failure of the fashion line. Savage X Fenty launched in 2018 as a joint venture with Textile Fashion Group, the company behind Fabletics and Just Fab. Now, if I'm correct, didn't Kevin Hart do some endorsements for Fabletics?
I believe so.
He sure did. Isn't that interesting?
Very interesting. Coincidental.
Huh. Okay. So, anyway, Textile Fashion Group, the company behind Fabletics and Just Fab. The transcript says Savage X Fenty raised $310 million across multiple funding rounds from 2019 to 2022, with investors including Marcy Venture Partners. And for those of you who don't know,
That's
Marcy
Jay-Z,
Venture
man.
Partners is Sean Carter's company. Okay. And then Abu Dhabi Growth Fund, also interesting, and L. Catterton. In 2022, Bloomberg reported that Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley were working on a possible IPO that could value Savage X Fenty at $3 billion or more. But the IPO never happened. No, S-1 was filed with the SEC. Rihanna stepped down as CEO in 2023. I think everybody keeps forgetting that. In 2023, she stepped down. Because if all of this stuff is a name only and she stepped down as CEO, what does that say? Doesn't that kind of sound like what's going on with Kevin Hart over there?
Exactly. Y'all can
At,
put two and two together.
ooh, okay. So let's just recap. All right. I'm going to say this again. In 2022, Bloomberg reported that Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley were working on a possible IPO that could value Savage X Fenty at $3 billion or more, but the IPO never happened. No S-1 was filed with the SEC. Rihanna stepped down as CEO in 2023, and her replacement, Hillary Supper, left after 14 months to become CEO of Victoria's Secrets.
There we go. That's that Epstein connection.
Les Wexner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A direct competitor. Okay, so Victoria's Secrets, who was a direct competitor to Fenty. Rihanna steps down. They put in this Hillary Supper person, and then she leaves to go work for their competitor.
So they're saying that this leadership change is evident that the IPO story had lost momentum.
Isn't that something?
Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley were working on the possibility that the IPO could value them at 3 billion or more, but it never happened, and that IPO story lost momentum. That was very interesting.
You want to know what else I also find is very interesting? Goldman Sachs. Isn't that where Jeffrey Epstein's
Yeah,
little pet
yeah.
Rumler, what was her name? Catherine Rumler,
Kathleen, yeah. Uh-huh.
who was President Obama's private counsel while he was in the White House, and a lovely pet to Jeffrey Epstein, the person that put him and Alex Spiro together, who ended up becoming the Jigga Man's attorney through Quinn Emanuel. It like the connections is just so tight. Like it's just Moet and Hennessy. Thank you.
Oh, how could I have not gotten that? Moet and Hennessy used to be two of my favorites. All right.
So it's just we see you over here. We see you over here, Kel. Yeah, Catherine Rumler. So I just want people to look at those connections. So Goldman Sachs was involved with the IPO for Fenty Savage X Fenty, or Fenty Savage. Okay. Meanwhile, you got Marcy Holdings involved. You got and Jeffrey Epstein is tied to all of this. The CEO that took over for Rihanna went to a Les Wexner company, Victoria's Secrets. Jeffrey Epstein. Like, is it not like all roads lead back to Epstein?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Go on ahead. Go on ahead, because we got one more parcel to.
No, it's actually what two more, right? Because
oh yeah, it is. My bad.
No, three more. Actually,
no, three more actually. Yeah.
In all honesty, we can just wrap. Let me do these two here. Look, they're explaining something about deceptive billing pattern of Savage X Fenty's membership billing model. Members were charged basically about $50 a month unless they skip between the 1st and the 5th of the month, and unused credits could expire after 1 year. They point out that consumer protection laws filed by several California district attorneys and the Santa Monica City attorney alleging deceptive billing practices and failure to properly disclose recurring charges. This case reportedly settled for $1.2 million, including civil penalties, investigation costs, and restitution. They connect the issues to a textile pass, noting that the same parent company had previously paid $1.8 million in 2014 over similar auto billing practices connected to Fabletics, Just Fabs, and Shoe Dazzle.
Wow.
So they were saying that Savage X Fenty's billing controversy was not framed as an isolated mistake, but a part of repeated business patterns. If this had happened 4 years prior, and well, no, actually, I'm sorry, not 4 years, because that was 2014. So, but it happened similarly to those companies we mentioned before: Shoe Dazzle, Fabletics, and Just
Fab. Yeah.
So this basically calls LVMH to say, "Hey, we up out of here. We don't want none of this." And LVMH, they are reportedly exploring a sale of its 50% stake in Fenty Beauty. So Reuters reported in October 2025, that LVMH was working with Evercore to explore selling estate with the entire brand value somewhere between 1 billion and 2 billion. Now they're saying that this will undercut the earlier 2.8 billion dollar Forbes valuation that helped make Rihanna a billionaire on paper. If Fenty Beauty were valued at only 1 billion, Rihanna's 50% stake would be worth 500 million instead of 1.4 billion, which would wipe out 900 million dollars from the earlier calculations. The chat. This was
Pause.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Pause. Wait a minute before you move forward. Last year, it was reported that Rihanna's company had lost $400 million.
There you go. Where you think it came from in this whole valuation?
No, but my thing is, if it lost the 400 million and all it was worth was, if she lost her stake, lost 400, she ain't got no money.
I think there's something with this. The same thing.
Go ahead.
Why Nicki Minaj was saying about, remember, because she's saying about the whole thing with Tidal and what she gave and this and that and what they gave her. Like we may have to double back and compare these to that situation, but that's another story. I digress. So Forbes later reduced Rihanna's estimated net worth by 400 million from 1.4 billion to a billion. Then compares Fenty Beauty with Rare Beauty, arguing that Selena Gomez's brand now may be valued higher and it's growing faster.
Now, before we move on, I just wanted to say, Kel, thank you. And please, I understand you got to go. You're welcome here anytime. And feel free to leave an email at the Real Jag Gmail address if you want to reach out. Okay. Have a good night.
Yep.
So, all right.
Go ahead.
All right.
If you
This last little parcel that we have here is the distraction reveal, where the real money is. Now, this is important. So as we move into this last bit of conversation regarding the Fenty brand and the LVMH holdings with the company, okay, all right, we pulled this whole argument together here. Okay, so the fashion failure, the vanished Savage X Fenty IPO, the CEO exits, and the LVMH sale talk were distractions from the asset that still matters, Fenty Beauty. Okay, so the transcripts, as we read on, it argues that Fenty Beauty remains the real engine because it generates hundreds of millions in annual revenue through Sephora in more than 150 countries. Rihanna owns 50% of the whole operating business, which is different from the speculative startup equity or paper wealth tied to the fundraising rounds. Okay, so as we come to the conclusion, let's just get into it. Rihanna's billionaire status may have been overstated when Forbes first calculated it, but the long-term business story is not necessarily over. If Rihanna or new partner ends up controlling more of Fenty Beauty and the brand continues producing real revenue, the billionaire story could become true in a more grounded way. It could become true. The core lesson is that celebrity wealth headlines are often estimates, not facts. And in this case, the gap between the estimate of reality could be around $900 million. So, to sum this up in a more relaxed version of communication is bullshit. Is it selling? Yeah, it's selling, but it's not selling what they said it was selling. Whose money is it? Where's the real money? Could it do okay as long as somebody else steps in? Absolutely. Could it become a billionaire company? Possibly, but it ain't right now. Interesting. What you got to say about all this?
I don't have too much to say. It's very interesting tying in that last conversation with this here, and
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing with Fenty Beauty. And I guess there's been issues with people calling the consistency, the quality,
Mm-hmm.
also something about the ethical sourcing concerns and offensive product naming. I guess she
Mm-hmm.
had one thing called Geisha Chick, and
Yeah.
that got, that got kind of, people were like, what's up with that? So they had to apologize and they removed it. Very interesting, just very very interesting how I mean, this is how they do business. It's smoke and mirrors. Someone said that, smoke and freaking mirrors.
Somebody had a question that they asked earlier. 1996 Productions. They came through with this and said, "Dang, Jag, didn't you say that she wasn't even in the house when old girl from Florida came through? What, that really her home? Was it
Was
really
that
her
was that
home?"
was that really her home? We don't know.
Hmm. I mean, the truth is we don't know. There's a lot that's wrong. And since we're here, should we get into what's going on with Miss Ortiz?
We might as well. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we might as well. I think I have this here.
Because I find it interesting and nobody seems to be interested in what's going on with that anymore.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be interested in that at all. Okay, so let me see what we got here.
Well, I had a brief summary of what happened with this situation with Ivana Ortiz, because she had came back to court this past Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't a whole lot that happened. I got to follow up
Well,
as far as like the dates.
I got some notes here I'd like to share with everyone
Go ahead.
because they were just in court on the 13th, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
They were there this Tuesday. So that's interesting. Her and David, because David had his,
No,
court hearing.
David was the day before, and then I believe it was hers.
That's what I'm saying. They were
Same, yeah,
both,
same
yeah,
place,
same week, same
in the
place, right?
same court. Yeah, same court.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same court. So they got their hands full with celebrity crimes. Okay. So anyway, we're going to look at this article, and it says that the criminal case against Ivana Ortiz, the Florida woman accused of powing at Rihanna's West Hollywood, LA home, or Beverly Hills, what was it, Beverly Crest actually?
Beverly Crest. Yes.
Yeah, Beverly Crest, is now being complicated by concerns about Ortiz's mental fitness to stand trial. Her public defender, which is crazy that all she has is a public defender for something like this, Derek Dillman, told the court he had doubts about whether she was competent. But after a closed hearing, Judge Shannon Cooley decided there was not enough evidence to stop the criminal case or send it to mental health court. So proceedings will continue. Ortiz has pleaded not guilty to attempted unalivement and, you know, assault with a very, very, very dangerous firearm. And prosecutors are alleging that she fired the rifle at the Beverly Crest property in March, hitting Rihanna's house, the neighbor's house, and an airstream on the property. Rihanna and ASAP Rocky and their children were home but unharmed. The report says Rihanna and Rocky were inside the airstream when it was hit. The article also notes courtroom tension between Ortiz and her attorney. Ortiz apparently tried to have Dillman removed as her lawyer in a closed door hearing, but he remains on the case.
Mm,
Later, she argued with him about scheduling, pushing for a quicker hearing date. The LA Times also recaps the alleged incident. Rihanna reportedly heard firearm shots, 10 loud shots or sounds, realized they were being, attacked, got Rocky out of the bed, pushed him to the ground, and then they ran to check on their children. Police say Ortiz had posted disparaging comments about Rihanna before the incident. And when she was arrested at the Sherman Oaks Mall, I believe in the parking lot, about an hour later, she had the rifle and two 30-round magazines. She allegedly told investigators she wasn't trying to take anyone's life. If we break it all down in plain English, the case is still moving forward, but the defense appears to be raising mental health concerns. The judge did not find enough at this stage to pause the case for incompetency proceedings.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
And let me
You want
tell
to
you
know
guys,
what?
I was gonna just say, when I was there, I didn't go to the last court hearing because I figured it was same thing. It's just gonna really not be even needed. But of course, what they reported, what you just said, that was great. What happened, and I assume there was going to be some issues with the attorney, her public defender, etc. I told you guys when I saw her, she looked like la 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 la. It's like what's going on? Like she didn't look like she knew up from down. She didn't know nothing. And again, her cheeks were really puffy. So to me, that was indication of psych meds. They were putting her on all types of psych meds when she
Yeah.
came into the court. Now, she's prosecution is saying, oh yeah, she can stand trial. She's ain't nothing wrong with her. She can stand trial. Her court, I mean her public defender is no, she's not mentally sound. She cannot stand trial. Now the judge says, hey, we're just gonna keep going. Nope, I don't see no reason. I'm curious to see how this is all gonna turn out because my guy that I was talking to with the courts, he was saying, because we're going to get the credentials and do what we need to do to be in there and find out what if we can get video footage and all that. There's a whole process you got to go through to get
Mm-hmm.
all that. And he was like, yeah, if this actually does go to trial, you already know they're going to have Rihanna on the stand, they're going to have ASAP Rocky on the stand, yada yada yada, etc etc. So this is going to be something big. Now, Brianna's out the country. And I'm sure if they do go to trial, it's not going to be right away, I guess.
Except for when she comes back and forth to go to parties.
Well, yeah. But I'm curious to see how this will play out. Will she actually get on the witness stand if it goes to trial and how that's going to play out? I don't think
I
she
don't think
wants.
that's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. I don't think she wants to.
I don't think that's going to happen at all. I don't see that happening by any means at all because there are too many holes in this story. There are too many holes. I don't see it. And I want to know why she has a problem with her attorney. Why does she want her attorney fired? Her attorney is trying to get her off on a mental health plea, which would make sense.
Yeah,
Considering what she's being charged with, she shouldn't be fighting against that.
No, she should be going with it. Like, yeah.
She should be going with that. So why does she want him gone?
like I said, when I was there and I saw her, she did not look like she was all the way there. Like,
She has no communication with the outside world. She's not allowed to talk to anybody, which means the only person she gets to talk to is this attorney. And now this attorney is making this plea because he wants her found incompetent. If this goes to mental health court, then 9 times out of 10, she's going to go to a hospital. And if she goes to a hospital, that means that that shuts down the case, and whatever is in finding will be sealed under that court record, and the public will never find out anything.
maybe that's
Why
the
is he
plan all
doing
along.
something different? That's
Well,
what I'm saying. Like, what? Why would she be fighting him? She says she's not guilty. She said when she was arrested that she wasn't trying to hurt or take anyone's life. What I'm not understanding is why is nobody talking about the Hispanic male that was in the car with her? Because the police said that. Ah, I'm telling you, there's so many illusions and so much fake crap around Rihanna's life right now. What really happened at that house? Who is this woman? Why did she do like there's still no explanation for how she got from Florida to California, found out where Rihanna lived, how she ended up at her house. The Tesla, it had paper tags. Who was the car registered to? Where did she get the car from? We know more about Cole Allen's movements than we know about this.
mm-hmm. And
So how are they?
investigators,
Oh,
investigators are they're trained to follow up. Like the minimum is 24 hours. A Tesla has cameras all around it, through it. So she had, if she drove, she had been driving for a day. I know for a fact, driving from shoot. Even if you just said, all right, I'm going to drive from Texas to LA, you're going 24 hours straight. That's
yeah,
minimum, at least a 17-hour drive.
yeah.
So 24 hours, investigators can track back and say, where were you 24 hours ago? Let's see. That's the minimum. That's like the bare minimum. 24 hours before the crime, investigators will be on you. And we know nothing.
Cole Allen, they have him on train
Yeah,
from LA to Chicago and from
hmm
Chicago to DC.
exactly.
It took him 3 days to get that done on a train.
Yep.
Even if she drove nonstop, because they did say that the Tesla was dirty. It was white and it was dirty. So apparently it had been picking up some miles and catching some dust.
Well,
Got all of that.
what doesn't make sense is this: a Tesla has to be charged,
Exactly.
and so I don't think the Tesla was from another state. I think it was a local. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, there's a whole lot going on that they just thinking people are stupid. I'm glad we got critical thinkers here, though.
I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding why someone like her in the position that she's in wouldn't want to file for mental health incompetency, because she's looking at they're talking about keeping this girl in jail for life. Why would she be willing to take that chance if she didn't do what they're accusing her of doing? Because the police said on that police radio that the man had the firearm and that she was the driver.
Do you think that's what's going to happen? She's going to say, "Hey, I had nothing to do with this. This was not me. It was him."
I don't know how. What I will say, especially not with the lawyer fighting, and because I'm starting to wonder to myself if maybe this Hispanic male that everyone has forgotten about forced her into that car and made her drive. That's what the cop said. There is audio There is audio of the police officer saying, "We have the suspect down on his knees. He is male, Hispanic." They said that. If this guy was able to pull off something like that, you don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But there should be more. We should know more about the moments leading up. What happened before she got there? She just showed up like Kazoo. The story around that is disappearing, just like the funds from Fenty disappearing like that IPO.
So the story that we spoke on before about Rihanna's LVMH, Fenty, X Savage, all that, whatever, the finances going on with that. We could tie this to this situation. Maybe they're connected. I'm sure there's some tie-in, but I don't know.
They're also not talking about all of the products that were taken off of the shelves for the Fenty beauty line in Europe because they said that it was potentially causing infertility.
Yeah.
They're still not talking about that. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Rihanna's situation, like Mary confirmed for me earlier, she filed for bankruptcy twice before she made it big with Fenty. Fenty is all smoke and mirrors for the most part. Could it be a successful brand one day? Yeah, it could be, all depending on who comes in and helps once LVMH pulls out. But I don't see that happening. And even if they do, will she be a billionaire one day? Yeah, but she's not a billionaire now. So I guess at the end of it all, my question is why are we buying in all of this fake crap? Like, are we not noticing that people are just lying? Somebody's a billionaire because a bunch of people said it. Somebody has a successful multi-million-dollar company, hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, is Jay-Z's wealth what it is? And that's what I was saying. Even with Kanye, he was supposed to have been worth $6 billion, and all of a sudden, overnight, he's back down to 400 million. Like, none of this is real. They're selling you these illusions of success, so you'll want to keep investing into it, so you'll want to keep believing in it. All of these stories is for the public, because the truth is, what does it matter how much money these people are worth and how rich they are? It ain't helping us. It ain't helping nobody. It's not like they're taking any of this money and they're helping feed the poor or end homelessness so people don't have to go to jail for the crime of not having a place to stay. Like,
Not at all. They don't care. I was looking into who owns LVMH, and it's the Arnault family. It's a French billionaire.
yeah.
And I'm going to look more into that whole dynasty. He has 5 children, and
The kids ain't feeling their Rock Nation association.
that I could imagine. I could imagine that.
The children who are taking over the company now.
Yeah, because he's pretty old, so he's he's going to be giving it up soon, I guess. And yeah, they probably are like, yeah, let's back out of this whole Rock Nation stuff. We don't want them to be dealing with them, especially with all the things that are coming out now. Rock Nation. So, but yeah, the Arnold family is the holding majority ownership of LVMH, and
people
yeah,
keep
they
forgetting LVMH are a major shareholder in Rock Nation as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they have 51% ownership.
Yeah.
So let's be clear. These aren't black businesses.
Not at all.
These aren't black businesses. These are wealthy European companies using black artists to be the face and the front for what they're gathering up. They're gathering up all of these black dollars and they're not taking anything and reinvesting it back in to where these people come from. Like, the truth is, with as much money as LVMH has made off of all of these artists, they should be donating to the HBCUs.
They're not going to do that. Think about what we're talking about with Kevin Hart. We can go back to that whole little situation. Now, Kevin Hart, everybody around him that works for him, for the most part, his boys are rich. They're not struggling. They're not in bad positions. He puts people in, at least he puts them in a good financial position, standing or whatever. From what I see and from what I heard, they can't replicate that. Like, imagine if, you had everybody pretty much on that type of time. Like, okay, I'm gonna make sure all my people are straight, 10 million plus, 20 million plus. Then we could propagate money. We could grow. We could do a lot. Like if we had about 100 more, what's my man name that owns all it? Brian, he owns all the Weather Channel. I forget his
You
last
talking about Byron Allen?
Byron Allen. Let's just imagine if we had 6 or 7 of those, more of those.
He was at that roast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was. That was funny. But if we had a bunch of people in that position, and there's a lot of other things that could be done. You could corner markets. You could do a lot more. But no, they got to keep the resources with certain families. That's why I said, let me look up who these families are. So obviously they're not going to put an entertainer in a position to help with like homelessness or just helping the people in general.
I'm sitting there looking at Kevin Hart for whatever reason. I'm just like, look at him. He the new Sammy Davis Jr.
Sammy Davis Jr. What do you think is going to be the future for what's going on with Kevin Hart? I think it's going to be something similar to what's going on with Rihanna with the finances. If we're looking at what,
let's be real, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is inconsequential, like for real. Like, who is he? Like, he's not. Like, it was cute that they threw him a little party and they sat there and they made fun of him all night. And pretty much everybody's jokes were the same. You're not talented. You're not funny. And, you made a lot of money off of, just being, a sidekick and a hustle. And you're not a real actor. You're not really talented. You're not like that. Isn't that pretty much what everybody said? Nobody really had anything else to say. There was nothing else to say about him. Oh, yeah. And every now and then they would take a nod at his wife because they all know. And that's why I thought it was wild when The Rock, they talked about him cheating. And how
I mean,
they talked about his car accident.
The father jokes, they took that. Like,
but The Rock went all the way there. They were working it up to it took The Rock to call him a full out crack baby.
Yeah.
And took a picture of his father and took a picture of Kevin's father and put them side by side. Like,
cold shit.
Like, it was a full on humiliation ritual. They got what they needed to get out of him. I think it's done. I think he's over. And listen to me. We're not even going to talk about that tequila because even The Rock they was talking about his tequila.
They was like, that tequila's crap. Yeah.
It is. It's nasty. Like they couldn't even give him a good tequila. And let's just be real. You can look at his wife and tell it's all about the money. Because when The Rock was talking all of that crap about jumping, and like even Chelsea Handler chime in, and don't you think she deserves to be with a real man?
Right.
Like
That was just disrespectful, man.
that's how they used to do Sammy Davis Jr. Like when I was looking at all of that, I was thinking about when Sammy Davis Jr. was a part of the Rat Pack. That's how they did Sammy. Even after he married his Jewish wife. And he converted. They still did him dirty. And I'm just sitting there looking. And I'm like, maybe people really don't know the history of what happens with our entertainers who turn themselves over to the machine completely. And it's wild because the only difference between Sammy Davis Jr. and Kevin Hart is that Sammy Davis Jr. was actually brilliantly talented. So I all I can say to Kevin is, bruh, take a look at however Sammy ended out. Yours is going. You're going to be a lot worse. You're going to be a lot worse. So I don't know. It's been an interesting week. Should we drop the link?
Yeah, drop the link.
Call it?
No, drop the link. We still, I still wanted to. I'll drop it.
Okay.
I'll drop it. I got it. So we still got to talk about your girl here. I just want to get a little bit of what you think.
She's a Taurus.
She's a Taurus. Okay. She said that she hasn't healed from her divorce. Which, okay, all right. That's what she's saying. If y'all don't know, Todd and Kandi were married. They had recently got a divorce. I guess they were doing threesomes, and I mean, I'm not all in I don't really care. I'm not in a business like that. You know what I mean? But there's a whole lot of I'll just say Hollywood stuff going on. You know what I mean? Links in the chat, y'all, if y'all want to come
Hollywood
up.
stuff.
I call it Hollywood.
Let's be honest. She was tired of being on Real Housewives of Atlanta and not being a wife. She was tired of being on Real House of Atlanta with as a single mom with her baby daddy story that she had, because Block was making all of that money and he still fronted on her. She had to keep chasing her down for child support. Like, I think she was just sick and tired of being clowned and treated like a clown.
Yeah.
And she had all of those records that she wrote for Destiny's Child, which now it's not I wrote these for Beyonce, of course. That's the story now. She likes to be a part of I helped build that brand, and now look at her.
How much did she make? Because she wrote No Scrubs. How much did she make?
She's made some decent money, but she's been taking that money and pushing that a little bit forward. But what a lot of people aren't paying attention to is all of the freak offs in Atlanta. And people are also not paying attention to the fact that a good share of the money that she made was off of her SCX adult toy line and paraphernalia line. Like
bedroom candy, yeah.
Yeah, her bedroom candy foolishness, like I don't think people really, really, really get it. I don't think they really get it. Like, Kandi's money didn't come from music. Kandi's money came from smut. She used her music self to sell a smut line.
And that's a easy, like, in all honesty, when it comes to
hustle.
That's easy. You could easily, that's just easy.
And then she doubled down on her
low hanging.
She doubled down on her candy coated nights and made that a whole brand. And she carried on with these behaviors in her marriage. She married someone who was working in the production staff for her reality television show, who was trying to make his way and make his name. He was doing what he was doing. He was hanging with Carlos King. That's another thing that I'm surprised really didn't come up. Um, because he spends a lot of time with gay men. He does a lot of business with gay men. Matter of fact, he does more business with gay men than he does with straight men. And I'm trying to figure out all of the cheating that they were trying to say that he was doing. Did they ever find the woman or any of the women that he was so-called cheating with? Like when it came to Klay Thompson, people was able to pull out pictures fast. When it came to, Offset and all of that, they was able to pull out pictures fast. He was doing who was he doing all this cheating with? Because they sure enough ain't come up with no pictures. Came from New York, trying to build his career. Because like a lot of people don't realize that he was involved. What was that show? Before he got married to Kandi, like he was trying to make his way. He was working very hard in the reality TV space, and he was working with Carlos King. I'm trying to remember that one reality TV show. I can't even remember it. That's a daggone shame. But I believe, what was her name? What's her name? Paula J. Parker was in it.
Oh, damn.
It was a Hollywood reality TV show. I think Paula J. Parker was in it. I think they had, who else? It was something. They were trying to get that off the ground. Yeah, I heard that too. I'm not saying it because I'm not, trying to create no upheaval or no war. But
okay, all right. I heard somebody we talking about the Todd, and it was some girl named Helen, some woman named Helen. But that's I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know. This is what the blogs are saying.
It fell through. Listen to me. All of that fell through the floor, and I'm just saying, if he was doing all of that, if he was creeping, and they were able to bust it, why didn't?
Maybe that was for the cover story. I get it. I understand.
It was for the cover story. Then where did it go? Because the divorce came. She asked for things to be sealed. He wanted things to be public. And then it was over. And he got what? Less than $500,000? And he had to get out of her house. Like I said, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard straight natural. So let's also be clear that it's been said on several occasions that he never found her that attractive. Let's be very clear. Huh?
Oh, so this makes sense.
Let's be very clear that he's also said that he don't think she can sing. And I'm glad he was able to be honest about that. She was getting money. He wanted it. She wanted a boyfriend. She wanted to have a baby so she wouldn't look like, Hollywood divas. That was it. He was working on that show with who? Carlos King. Carlos King is the one that got him the gig at Bravo. Like most of his little crew. King. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of
Queen King.
Why don't we? I might as well just say this. So when I said the person Helen, who supposedly was, I guess, a private chef. Here we go with the BBL chefs, right? The person who dropped it, supposedly this information, is Funky Dineva.
Are you kidding me?
So guess what? Now I'm seeing the fixes in. Obviously, if Funky Dineva is sitting here saying, "Well, I got all the tea," Ty was with that definitely
cover
was the cover
story.
That was the cover story. They don't want to out their buddy, or allegedly. Let's just say it like that. I get it. I get it.
Their butt brother.
Yeah, allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
Wow. Yeah.
Like I said, so her sitting there talking about she not healed. I mean, it sounds good.
It wasn't a real relationship then, I guess.
It wasn't a real relationship. What is it? How are you not healed from a fake relationship? Listen to me. They was trying to warn Kandi that he was an opportunist, and he knew that she was one. They're both opportunists. That's what I'm not understanding.
Well, the streets were saying that somebody was one of Candy's haters. Let's just say it like that. Was saying, "Oh, Candy's a big trick," and I'm like, "That's pretty fucked up to call that
No,
woman that."
no, no, it's not. She used to spend a lot of money on Gerald Levert too. She spent a lot of money on a lot of people. She paid.
Oh, I totally forgot about the Gerald Levert. So okay, I get it now. Okay, all
She
right.
spend money. That's what she do. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you're looking for I'm still just trying to understand how people are like I'm still trying to understand she like to eat snatch.
Oh damn! Wait, you just put an allegedly behind that. Stop,
I could say allegedly, but it's true.
please, please,
I'll say allegedly.
because I ain't seen a tape. If there's a tape, then okay, all right.
Like she's made it very clear in the show that she gets down with women. Her friend Tamika, T.I.'s wife.
Oh,
They're the
so
best
that's
of friends.
so that's why they got that song. You're my little secret. You're my. Oh, okay, I got it. Makes sense. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Brandon. She said she likes it. She's
Damn.
fucking Mikey.
God damn.
So, I mean, you know,
Sheesh.
when that's what you on, that's what you on.
Well, if
So I don't understand.
she's
I
on
don't.
that, and her husband allegedly likes to slurp draws of then
What you heard about. He's just tired. Y'all got them kids. Okay. People have run around talking about he ain't that great a dad either, but he's great. He's great on camera. I mean, like, I tell you what I do know. I am grateful that at this age in my life, I can honestly say I'm not looking for someone to pretend to be with me. But you know what? When you look at people like Gabrielle Union coming forward, she's fluid. Yeah, she's fluid. She's draining.
she's fluid, all right.
You know, Gabrielle Union, somebody said this recently. She was talking about her first marriage and how because she was the primary breadwinner in that marriage, she felt as though she had the right to cheat and do whatever she wanted to do because she was paying for everything. Like, huh?
What happened to loyalty? What happened to whatever happened to loyalty? I don't know.
Because she did, because that's not what she married him for. He was an athlete. He was supposed to add to her, her persona, her this, her that. And my thing is if you felt it was okay to cheat on your first husband because you made more money than him, well, your current husband makes more money than you. Why you have a problem with him running around with trannies and anything?
Oh damn. All
He
right.
makes more money than you, so why can't he cheat? If it was okay for you to do it, why is it a problem for him?
Lord. Jesus Christ.
No, seriously.
I hear you.
You should be all right with somebody cheating on you when they make more money than you. The biggest problem is that you splitting bills with him. You probably should have kept the broke dude. Because trying to keep up with the rich one got you working like a slave. It's all of these weirdo relationships. Like, I don't get it. And he was, oh, I'm so hurt because my arrangement isn't still arranging. Like, Who's going to be on the red carpet with me? Who do I get to have fake Christmas with in matching sweaters with the children that we hire a nanny to raise because I'm busy eating snatch and promoting my new lube? I don't get it. I don't get it.
God.
Hey, to each his own. I, Look, to each his own. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. Just
To,
don't be
to,
running around asking people to feel sorry for you. Like you're doing what you want to do. You're
damn.
doing what you want to do.
Damn.
You on
That was
Broadway. All the hoes is on Broadway. Yay. I remember when it used to be talent that got you on Broadway, and now it's what that mouth do that gets you on Broadway. Like,
Meg the
uh,
Stallion was on Broadway. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna drop the link one more time if y'all want
If
to come on.
anybody wants to hit the link, if not, we're gonna get ready to
I
shut
mean,
it.
this was funny. This was hilarious. All like everything, just when we talk about everything. I mean, because we covered a lot, and you know, it all tied in together. Like the whole Drake thing tying into the White House, and then you know we get into this whole thing with Kevin Hart and the money stuff behind that, and then tying that to how it's coincidentally it's similar to the situation with Rihanna.
And how they're both backed by the same
Not the
companies.
same, but yeah, I'm saying it's very interesting, very interesting.
Ah, what I will say is, since we're talking about fake, and we're waiting to see if anybody's going, let's finish with the last fake of the week.
Oh, you about to go ahead?
Let's talk about Cheyenne Bryan a little bit.
Oh shit!
Let's talk
God,
about fake.
God.
Let's talk about fake. Let's talk about fake, baby. Let's talk about fake therapy. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things faking can be. Let's talk about fake. Let's talk about fake.
Oh
So,
yeah. Let me. I'm sorry. Let me pull that up. I almost forgot. Keep going. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
no, I'm serious. Like, I'm just wondering when they're going to create a sector for Cheyenne Bryant and go after her the way they went after Dr. Umar. Like, I want to know that. I want to know. Woohoo.
They're not gonna do that. You know why?
Why not? Yeah, let's talk about fake therapy. Let's talk about fake therapy.
Did you
Let's
send that?
talk about it.
You sent that, right? Hold on.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to find it. Oh,
I want to
nope,
talk
that ain't
about
it.
it.
That ain't it. Where did you send it? You must have
I
sent
want to
it.
talk about fake. I think I emailed it, didn't I?
You did. I think so. Yeah.
I want to talk about fake therapy. Like, how do we have that? Like, this chick been out. I didn't realize she was on as many reality TV shows as she was on. She was on the 16-year-old mom show on MTV, so called giving them a therapy session, and they sitting there acting crazy. And then you got her. She was over on the Basketball Wives for what? Like, I hope she wasn't over there supposed to be being a therapist on Basketball Wives, because all of these seasons later, all of these bitches are still nuts. All of them is out of control. They out of control. And then she's sitting up there talking about, I've done sessions live, and you can see it's about, how effective I've been in what I do. I get to call myself a doctor because I've been effective. And I'm like, huh? So the whole week is gone by and everyone has looked, and can't nobody find no documents. Can't nobody find no diplomas. All of the places where she said she couldn't go and she couldn't get her transcripts because it was closed and it was a small window of opportunity for 2 hours and it this and it that. And no, she didn't say cue the BBL chef. I don't even think I got that. I don't even think I kept that. I think I got rid of that.
No,
I
don't
don't even
don't
think
don't
I had it.
don't cue that. We do got a picture of her and her diploma. We do. She's a proud recipient graduate of, maybe it was ICDC. Nah, I'm kidding. Argosy something. Maybe that's what she was saying. But um, here it is.
Not even she said. It's wild because if you look at this image, I'm gonna tell you the thing that stuck out right away to me. Hold on, wait a second. Salute to admin. What's going on, love? Someone should talk to Dr. Bryant and tell her to drop calling herself a doctor. It is considered wire fraud per client's 20 years federal time. Crazy. Somebody did say it in the last interview that she did with the woman on the news promoting her book, which now the publishing company is offering refunds for anybody who doesn't want to partake. Um, See, there you bang, bang, cat. I love you, cat, because you be on it. That's the first thing that stuck out to me. Now, this certificate, I don't even understand because this is supposed to be about some copyrights, isn't it?
Is it?
Copyrights or some kind of copyright and a certificate for
Trademark her name. It's for
yeah for
trade to trademark her name. Yeah.
yeah, but why would you trademark your name in lower cases? Like she knows she's doing wrong. Doctor and her surname are both lowercase. In what world? In what world? Like if you were really a doctor, you would have made sure that was all capital. No, 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 no. She a doctor with a lowercase with a little d.
No, the only cap is the cap that she says she's a doctor. The claim that claims she's a doctor. That's the only cap.
And I say shame on Joe Budden podcast. I say shame on the Breakfast Club. I say shame on even these reality TV shows. Y'all have been validating a fraud. That's what you've been doing. Shame on Cam Newton. And the simple fact that Ray J is her client. And she has advertised that Ray J is her client and that she has been therapizing Rayford. Look at your client, ma'am. Like the second that we heard that she was Ray J's therapist, we should have all known it was fake. There is no way. No way. Yes. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, she's Ray J's. She said it. She said Ray J is her client. But she trademarked Dr. Bryant so So you think because you copyrighted that name that means it's real? Do you know what that reminds me of? When Yandy went, they was on the Yandy and Mendices, they was on the Love and Hip Hop New York, and they had the wedding, and turns out it was all fake. They never even got married. She just went and had her name changed. So she legally changed her name so she could pretend to be this man's wife and not be married to him, even though they had a huge wedding on TV.
That's crazy work.
Why? 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 We not married, but I'm literally going to take your name. So yeah, she took doctor, lower cases. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not interested in having a doctor that has lowercase letters in their name. I'm just not interested in it.
Maybe Dr. Pepper, maybe Dr. Seuss, but I don't drink soda. And
Dr. Dre is looking more credible.
Yeah.
And salute to Corey Holcomb. He did call it out early. The question is, when he called it out, why didn't nobody else echo chamber that?
No, because they're all on the whole thing with her claiming to be a doctor, having a in fact, let me pull it up. If
they not gonna go after her, then they owe Dr. Umar. They owe him an apology, in my opinion.
They're not gonna go after her. Not at all.
Because to go after him the way they went after him and not go after her is crazy work to me. This is insane.
Do you want to play that video that we played before with the sister who was breaking down the whole thing with?
I mean, we can. We
can. This says a lot. This says a lot. If you really want
to. I mean, we can, or we can. How about we tap into
Cheyenne Bryant never referred to
that
herself.
She just did on the news show with the woman when she said that she ain't got to explain whether or not she a real doctor to anybody. God told her.
Oh, where's that video?
Hold on. We can let this play.
Well, because this is why I was going with the whole thing.
Come on.
The NBC in 2018 writing up an article saying she's a doctor.
I just had a conversation with somebody on Threads who posted this. Cheyenne Bryant never referred to herself as a therapist. So I then posted the receipts of her actually presenting herself as a therapist. This is something that is posted on her highlights right now, where she posted an article written by someone at NBC where they referred to her as a marriage and family therapist. This is posted on her page. When I showed this to the woman on Threads, her response was this. Essentially saying that that's an article saying that she was a therapist. That's not her saying that she's a therapist. If she reposted an article that was written by her, calling her a therapist, that is her intentionally spreading misinformation. And when it comes to these small publications, everyone knows that you can write in or pay to have an article written about you. And even if that wasn't the case with this particular article, they did not just claim that she was a marriage and family therapist out of nowhere. They got that information from her. I also mentioned the fact that there is a video out there where, while telling a story of a past client, she said these words.
It's so bad. It was like my first year being a therapist.
The girl was still going back and forth with me, debating on whether a license is needed to practice in the mental health field. I just don't understand why so many people think that this is okay. If there was a person pretending to be a medical doctor, doing surgeries, seeing patients, treating patients, but did not have a license or the degree required to be a medical doctor, I feel like people will understand a little bit more. There is no way that anyone would allow a surgeon to perform surgery on them or anybody they love if the surgeon said that they're not licensed and licensing is not important. And let's just call a thing a thing. The only reason why y'all are defending her, the only reason why y'all are arguing back and forth online with actual professional therapists would
Y'all, look, you already know. You already know. Because she's talking that pretty privileged foolishness. I mean, look, let's just take a look at this. Let's take a look at this here. We'll take a look. We're going to take a look. We're going to get through all of this right here. Why do they got all of these ads? Ain't nobody.
Y'all gotta go get this book. You guys made Mental Detox my first book a bestseller. I know we can run these numbers up. We gotta do it again, y'all.
That's life coach and Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. She's out with her brand new book, Live Your Power, Escape Your Wilderness, Heal Your Pain so you can manifest the life you want. It just came out and it's already a bestseller. She's delving into how you can embrace self-love and reach your full potential. And she is here now. So come on in and congratulations on your latest.
Okay, hold on a second.
Thank you. Thanks for coming live in studio.
We're gonna take a look.
I'm gonna add this to your book.
Oh, please do. Please do. And
honey.
I've read your book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Is it, how many have you
Fair
put
This
out
is my
now?
second
The
book.
second
My
book.
first one, Mental Detox, is also
Yes.
a bestseller.
Wow. So for many, they know who you are.
Yes.
For others, this may be an introduction.
Yeah.
So you often talk about, and you talk about it in your book, going from the hood to the hills.
Yes, baby.
How has your life informed your journey and what you share?
Oh gosh, I talk about it in my book, Live Your Promise, how, growing up in the inner city as a young girl, the oldest of 7, the product of teenage parents, had an extremely, extremely loving, tight-knit family, but the environment sometimes was dysfunctional and toxic. And so growing up in that, knowing that, look, I don't know where I want to go, but I know I got to get the heck up out of here. I always say sometimes it's not where you're going that gets you there, it's what you're running from. And as a young girl, I put on my track shoes and I said, look, I have a goal to get me and my family out of this, but to come back and give back and provide resources to the inner city. And so I say, I went from the hood to the hills by the grace of God. And as the Bible says, it was good for me that I was afflicted. So my afflictions created a certain muscle, a vertical backbone, and a character in me that allows me to withstand the storm. And the wilderness is what I talk about in my book. And we all have a wilderness that happens every time before you enter into your promised land. It precedes the promised land, which is you living in your promise.
Yeah, you share those biblical scriptures.
Pause. So she likes to use the Bible a lot. She likes to use Bible references. She likes to talk about God. She likes to talk, she does a lot of talking. But the truth is, if she really believes in the Bible, she should believe in the commandments. And the commandment says, thou shalt not bear false witness. She do a lot of lying. She do a whole lot of lying. Wait a minute. What does Brandon have to say here? Yeah, Dr. Jacko, not the best catchphrase. Y'all in here just y'all clowning. All right, so hold on. Let's go a little further. Let's get into this a little bit more. Fair use. Shout out to
and stories as well, words of affirmation, even pages where you basically urge the reader to ask those questions.
Yes.
Because a lot of us, we see the wilderness, but we're too afraid to take the mask off, to turn the lights on and address it.
So come on. A lot of times what we're afraid of is two things. It's taking inventory of what is in our wilderness, because a lot of folks have used a coping mechanism to eclipse themselves from seeing the trauma, from taking the inventory, because seeing the trauma oftentimes makes it to where you have to relive it. It's a secondary trauma experience. And who wants to relive trauma? Trauma is dismantling. It's broken. It's painful. And so that inventory piece you said is important. And the second piece is they're usually afraid of the bigness, what's in the promised land. Can they not only obtain, but can they sustain it when they get there? And it takes a different tool in the promised land than it does in the wilderness. And it's okay to be in the wilderness, because the wilderness is where you are identifying who you are. You're finding out your muscle. You are building character.
Yeah.
Okay, and allowing yourself to feel what you feel. You also
all right.
To be married, or you've seen the opposite. You said, I don't want this. So because I don't want what I've seen in my household, I'm going to create a fairy tale that I do want. It's an ideology. And you go out into the world and you clothe people with your fairy tale ideology. And when they do not meet up to those expectations, you gaslight them and say, you're not good enough. You know, I'm just too much for you. You can't handle me. No, maybe they're...
Wait a minute. Hold on, pause. I got a problem with this, because she was on the Paul Pierce show and she was talking about how she was with this dude and she's been with him back and forth for 5 years. And he said, oh, so you've been his work for 5 years? So he's your work? Well, then she was like, no, we each other's work. And, you know, I keep putting him on the back burner. I keep doing this, you know, I keep spinning the block and coming back to him. I just don't understand. How is that what you're doing in your personal life, yet you're sitting here describing this exact same thing? Oh my God.
Human. Maybe your ideology is a fairy tale. Maybe we have to check what we are thinking we want, right? And say, is it reality? Does this even exist? Because that's different than just having standards. And so a lot of times people are breaking their own heart with their fairy tale ideology. It's not the person you're in a relationship with. They're being human. They have the right to be who they are.
Okay.
Happy.
So
yeah, I'm not interested. And fair use. Y'all already know. I'm like, we need to get through the bull crap, because she's just
get from books, a lot you can get from principle, from tools, but there's a whole lot you got to just learn on the job. There's a lot of things that you just have to learn by experiencing it and being. This is why the wilderness is so important, because the wilderness is giving you experience. You're learning on the job. Relationships, marriages also have a wilderness season. It's not kumbaya the entire relationship. So when you all are in the wilderness, that means you're learning yourself, you're learning the relationship, and you're learning how to love on each other. The Bible says love each other by knowledge. The knowledge piece is your recipe. It's not about giving them what you want them to have. It's let me give you what serves you. I'll land on this. Marriage is a service position. Can you serve? Can you serve the person or not serve yourself? That's what it's about.
Yeah. I have to ask you this. I have a segment here called Motivation with Marissa. And I know you're a motivator for many people. And oftentimes when you have that role, that moniker, you're the strong friend.
Yeah.
So I got to check in on strong friends. I want to check in with you because you've gone viral recently. People questioning your credentials, whether you should even be giving advice that you're giving. How are you doing, particularly within the last few days?
Thank you for asking that. I love that. I'm actually doing really good. I don't know a person who has received this amount of free marketing. It couldn't have happened in a better time for my book that just, launched a couple.
Pause. Did y'all hear what she said? Free marketing. Listen to me, Dr. Jacko, I couldn't agree more. All she's doing is regurgitating that came from other people. She just said free marketing. She's grateful. Because all of the free market, fair use.
days ago, and within 24 hours, we made the bestsellers list, not only for print, but for the ebook. And so that's very exciting. Also, I know a couple of things. There's promises that God has for us. He says that all, not some, all things are working for your good. He also says that not to get weary in well-doing. And he says that I give you much territory, and your job is to possess it, and my job as God is to protect it. I protect what I give you. And so when territory is expanded, God says that the cross gets heavier. And if you cannot carry a heavy cross for the expansion of the territory I gave you, then guess what? Maybe you're not ready, because to whom much is given, much is required. And so it's important for people who are in service, in leadership positions, to not personalize, right? When you have folks who come in and attempt to crucify what you have going on.
Crucify. Did she say crucify? She said crucify. That's what she said. Of course, a PR rep told her to say all of this. Did she say she's being crucified because can't nobody find her diplomas and her degrees? Is that what she? I know. She, like I said, she do a whole lot of playing with the Bible.
On, because your job is to not get weary in your service. And I land on this: my obedience is to God, not to people. And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his, his word, my sheep will know my voice, even the sheep in wolf clothing.
That's my sheep? Wow.
It's not my battle.
But
That's
with the
his.
Questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles. It's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, B. Simone, they have all been for the world to see, right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was.
Social media. Listen to me. Look, I know. You want to know who else was saying stuff like this? Ivana Ortiz. She kept talking about Bible scriptures and what God had to say, and isn't that funny? It can go either way. Oh boy, yeah, that's about all the commentary.
Was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live, and they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it. They can't validate me. I validated myself. They deemed it as my work being effective. I'm effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane. And I land on this: I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people see that you created something that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay. And you got to be okay with that in that
as an
space.
attack.
Yeah.
But I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers, and I owe it to them.
You
in
do.
Service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have
Pause. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Trademark. Is that what you calling a right, a trademark? Because we showed y'all the picture where she trademarked the doctor in the little letters, but I'm just She said, why don't you just drop the doctor from your name? Just drop the doctor from your name. That's all. You can keep doing what you're doing. Exactly. She has over 3 million followers. That goes to show you. But you know what though? There's a lot of people on social media. There was a girl from Australia who pretended to have brain cancer. Never had it. She created a whole book where she was telling people that they could cure their cancer just like she did with food. Vegan diet, juice, all of that stuff. Matter of fact, it got so popular that she even got an app for her book on the Apple Watch store. Oh, I'm trying to tell you, these people, you have a PhD in Googleology. Yeah, yeah. I look. You heard what she said. Just in case you didn't, let's just take it back a little bit, because the woman asked her straight up.
To them,
Absolutely.
why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book.
Not my degree.
I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're standing by that.
Standing by it. Yeah, because I earned it. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. I know you're going to hang around.
I want to thank you for asking.
I can't. Thank you. I'm a journalist. She said, I'm a journalist with 2 degrees, that woman said to her. And she, like I said, y'all, it's a lot of fake crap going on. Whole lot of fake crap going on. But hey, yes, that was her name, Belle Gibson. Belle Gibson. And Belle Gibson ended up going on over to Africa and running a whole new, she wearing a hijab. I can't. Like I said, somebody said not Googleology. Look, guys, at the end of the day, there's a lot of fake and there's a lot of phony stuff. But I think the one thing that we're starting to learn is that when it comes to people, when we're dealing with celebrity, when we're dealing with, the elite society, as they like to refer to themselves. Some people say the Illuminati. I call them Shluminati. Multiple degrees that no one can find. But we do have our trademark paperwork, and she trademarked the doctor with a lowercase d. It's hype. Let's just be real. It's hype. It's all hype. So on that note, I want you guys to have a great weekend. Sabbath is already there for some. It's already May 16th. Sabbath is coming in for those of us here on this side of the world. Enjoy your Sabbath. Enjoy your life, and do yourself a favor. They like to take these people and parade them in front of our faces, and they want us to be envious of them. They want us to be envious of their money. Oh, they're a billionaire. They have everything, and they want us to buy into this, to want to aspire for this, to worship these people that they control, so that they can control you, and you can continue to keep giving them all of your money, and killing the quality of your life to maintain something that these people don't even actually have. Look around at your life. Look around at all that you have. All that you have, whatever that may be. You could live a small life. You could live a reasonable life. You could live a modest life, a humble life. But guess what? I want you to take into consideration that you're bigger than they are, because you actually own what you have. Most of these people are living on credit. Most of these people are living on credit limits, credit lines. That's what they're living on. It's not even real. So, yeah, do yourself a favor and be grateful for what you have, not what you're pretending to have. but what you actually have. Be grateful if all you have is a bachelor's and you're not sitting online pretending to have a doctorate. Be grateful for what you have. If all you have is a high school diploma, I tell you one thing, it's better than pretending. Oh, I have a student loan bill, and the student loan bill still does not confirm whether or not you finished, completed, and have the degree. I'm telling you right now, whatever it is that you have, be grateful for it. I'll be 49 on Sunday, and you know what? Long time ago, I wondered whether or not I was ever going to live to see my older age, to see my older years. And you know what? I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for the skin that I'm in. No plastic surgery, no fake this and fake that. Let's be happy with our real lives. You know? Let's be happy with our real lives and stop envying all these fake ones. Okay, guys, on that note, my name is Jaguar Wright. Salute to our co-host, Wolfgang Amadeus. I'm probably going to be popping in. I'm not quite sure. We'll see. I'll let you know. Keep your notifications on. And until next time, peace.